See that? That's like so telling. I just lit a match and it didn't even ignite. It just smoked. Okay, let me try this again. These matches are very mysterious. Sometimes they scare me because they break. Look at that, you guys. I should actually. Oh my gosh. I think that's the universe saying 3 strikes, you're out. Okay. No flame being lit today. Hello. This is Teresa Phelps Martin coming to you from the Soulfully You land, virtual land. And today's energy is the mutable air, which means the ability to change and adapt and articulate and put words to things. And it is hanging out with the depth of our emotional self, our soul, the parts of us that are buried deep within that hold our truth. And when those come together, what we have is this intellectual or mental stimulation, the need to socialize, the need to engage and stay curious and research, and can get a little too intellectual. And we have this combined with the energy of feeling it all. Understanding that the superficial energy is not their truth. Good morning, you guys. Everybody who's showing up. I love that you're here. So if you have a Scorpio moon, this is your moon. It will leave Scorpio this evening, just for the live that I'm doing right now. But what it's doing, it's kind of pulling out what really is going to be revealed. You've probably heard it's eclipse season, Saturn's retrograde, Mercury's retrograde. And well, we have this opportunity to step through a portal because we have an eclipse happening. For those of us in Louisville, it's going to happen at 7:30 a.m. We won't see the eclipse, so we're in full moon energy right now. If you need to plan anything, plan it today. I don't really recommend planning it once the moon's in this fire, but you can plant the seeds of really what wisdom do you want to bring forward. So if you can articulate your truth, feel emotional, and give yourself the room to listen to the messages that are coming through, to lean into a greater guidance. I just learned this morning that many, many, many years ago, many thousands of years ago, the planets were considered angels. So that kind of is that belief system for me that's so essential. You're not alone. And so as you discover your truth and you know your truth, you know that other people have their truths, that we're in this together. Okay? So part of my truth is that I come forward with wisdom of the depths, wisdom of how to be in relationship. You hold your own wisdom. You come into this world with your own gifts. And I'm staring at these, so I have to share them. These are the sweet roses. These are a David Austin rose that was given to me. Oh, they're so amazing. It's just a shrub rose. I haven't gotten into tea roses, although, you know, tea rose might be part of my future and offering into this wisdom and abundance. So see that beauty. See the beauty of your truth. See the beauty of each other's truths, because that is part of what I know I'm here to articulate, is for you to embody your sacred essence and stand in that light. So if you can, go watch the moon rise tonight. watch the moonrise tomorrow night. We have these clear skies that you can see the direct relationship that we're in a great, vast space of abundance that we can lean into. Now, the trick of that is that not everybody has the access to it. So it's a conversation that transcends our little virtual yoga dialogue, but physiologically, I'll come back to this moment and this practice. We want to think nervous system. We want to think how we understand our truth and vocalize it, but vocalize it in the movement that we do, okay? So I think this is my first Gemini class. We're going to move with the breath. We're not going to move, we're going to move with the momentum, okay? But we're going to get into the psoas so that the emotional energy, Gemini doesn't usually like to get into, just FYI. Straight up, that adaptable air energy likes to just jump. Oh, it'll be okay. Oh, we can do this. Oh, we can, I got new solutions. No, we're gonna feel, so we're gonna breathe, because the breath is such profound evidence that we're supported by the unseen. The only way you can see your breath is if you go fog up a mirror, okay? So, no smoke and mirrors here, even though my flames didn't light up. Let's get on our mat. Stand tall. Stand with the beauty within. Stand in your highest light. There is magic. And can you articulate that magic? Can you let the magic of your truth come forward? As you stand on a solid ground, because if you ever look at the little squiggly lines in the Soulfully You group, that symbolizes air. We have no fire in the sky till tomorrow. And our nervous systems really need to be held, but we need to get into the core and not try to make sense of it all, okay? Hands to heart center. Enjoy your breath. We're gonna work with the domes, upper palate, diaphragm, pelvic floor. We're gonna work with the psoas and the core lines of the body so that our whole system can feel nurtured. We call on the highest. For the greater good. We breathe into the depths of our being. Enjoy the movement of the diaphragm up and down, all that is working for us, even in the most challenging of moments. Understanding that not everybody has access or chooses to know themselves more deeply, to embrace that we all have wounds and limitations. But the dark side isn't bad. It's just once we bring the light forward, it might be uncomfortable, but our truth expands in ways that we can pioneer and restructure and heal. So we give up gratitude, big breath in, and a big breath out. We feel our intentions being illuminated so we can stand and lean into that faith and that trust of our own depth. And bring forward the magic that is you. Allow the head to bow down. Palms turn open, and whatever secret sits within, they're going to come out. So just call on that energy and offer it up, that you're not by yourself, you're not alone, finding out what's breaking up, what's coming forward. Big full breath in, arms are up overhead. You're gonna lift up and stretch over to the left. Inhale, come up through the center, and exhale over to the right. Inhale, rising up, going to each side 5 more times. Inhale, coming, and exhaling over. Inhaling through the center, exhaling over to the left, inhaling through the midline, exhaling. So feeling that connection. As above, so below, and you're dancing with the energy within, you're dancing into the depths, you're feeling what is there for you, what isn't there for you. No secrets here, just transformation. Exhale, hinge at the hips, lead with your heart, fold to the earth, touch to the ground, lift and spread your toes so your arches lift, bend the knees, roll the spine up, inhaling all the way overhead, arms rise, toes relax, knees bend, hinge at the hips, melting down. 5 is our number to start, rolling the spine up. Remember when you were 5? My daughter is going to be 5 in October. Exhale, bend the knees. Things are still sweet, they're still innocent. And roll up. But there's change afoot, there's transformation. And when we can transform our beliefs and the way we articulate them, and those beliefs come from deep within, right? The unconscious, the subconscious, that we can finally find the words to articulate our truth and teach wisely. Exhale, all the way down to the earth. This is the last roll up, really strong through that core. Feel the sidelines. Inhaling the arms overhead. Exhale, hinge all the way to the earth. Hands touch the ground, downward dog. Now, as you're in downward dog, lift and spread your fingers, get your wrists, and then re-ground them. Feel the domes of the hands lifted, the armpits lifted, and then connect the core. Bend the knees, roll your heels over to the right. Bend the knees deep, full breath in. And then inhale your hips up through the center. Bend the knees deep, full breath in, going down. Going to each side, guess how many times. So just feeling your breath, feeling the connection to that center line, from the crown of the head, all the way to the soles of the feet, the lines of the arms, the domes, where you intersect. And that will help you stay connected as we're moving with awareness and depth. By the way, this mutable air and fixed water is very much this water and air. I'll just put it there as my energetic signature. So it's where I come, share, and offer each side one more time. And I'll come all the way through. Knees are going to come to the earth. Move all the way back into child's pose. 5 breaths here. Just being the witness of what sits at your depth. What is your truth right here, right now? How is your practice helping you be more compassionate and bringing forward the transformation? Inhale onto your hands and knees. I climbed off my mat, so I'm going to climb back on. Ground your right hand, widen the right foot. Push through the left foot. Inhale, the arm rises up. Big breath in. And then exhale. The left hand's going to come down. The left knee. Stretch the right leg back. Widen, expand, breathe. We're just going from side to side. But the hand is just coming down to the earth. Knee comes down, feet go wide. And then you reach the hand forward and open up. So you're really feeling this whole line from the dome and the palm of the right hand, and the hands and the feet. And then exhaling down, listening to the messages of your being. Okay, so we're moving with the breath. And it might feel like we're moving fast and not being in anything for all that long at this moment. When you know your own energetic signature, it makes a huge difference. One each side, one last time. So this mutable air energy affects the lungs. Breathe into all that support that's there. Both hands hands to the ground. Tuck your toes, find your fingertips. Hips are gonna stretch back. So it's not really child's pose, it's not puppy dog pose, it's in between. Deep inhale and a deep exhale. Then you're gonna inhale, come up. Right foot's gonna stretch out and then hips move back. And then inhale, come up, all the way up. Okay, right foot's in line with the hip. Left arm lifts. Getting deeper into that side body, opening up here. And then as you exhale, you're going to draw into the belly, walk the right foot forward, low lunge. Sweep the arms overhead. Feel a buoyancy here. Ribs are in, core is strong. Enjoying the breath, the connection. And then we're going to rise up, lift up, right hand to your hip, wrap the hip down, reach over to the right. And then inhale through the center, hands to the earth. Back knee's gonna lift up, bend the back knee, straighten the front leg. So we got the inseam of the right leg, now we're getting the back seam, calf, the hamstring, bending the knee, wrapping the hip, finding the length, what's going on in the diaphragm. Can it move? Can it breathe? Can you embrace that energy? And then exhale, lunge forward. Weights just on the right foot. Walk the hands forward. Draw in. Square off. Bow into it. You're going to bring your right hand to your right calf. Draw into the belly. Pull up into this waistline. So I want you to get that outer line of the leg too. Okay? And then as you exhale, the foot's going to come to the earth. Downward dog, right leg goes to the sky. Bend both knees, draw into the belly, open the hip up, full breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring the right knee in, pivot down. You can bring your right knee all the way to the earth or stretch it out, coming into side plank. Gracious breath in. And a gracious breath out, then hands to the earth. Move back, downward dog. Knees to the ground, toes stay tucked. Move back into this awkward child's pose. We have to find ways to get into the depths of ourselves, out of our comfort zone so our truth can come alive. It's not about is this good or bad, it's just about awakening more of ourselves. Inhale, come up. Stretch the left leg out. Reach the leg back. Getting into that inner thigh. And then inhale, you're going to rise all the way up. Lift up, reach over to the left. So you're standing on your knee. Drawing into the belly. Getting into that side body. I haven't been doing very much side body stuff, and oh my God, my hips have been killing me, so it feels so good to come back to it. The left foot swings through. Adjust yourself as much as you need to. You're discovering your truth. You're getting to know yourself. How can you articulate what you know so that the wisdom and the intellect can come together? Hug to the center, arms overhead. Feeling the breath. And as you're in this low lunge, you're going to feel the dreams that you're leaning into, the support, the bigger picture, so you know you're not alone. As your left hand comes to your left hip and you stretch over to the left. Just a deeper stretch all the way into that right leg. Now we're hitting the front of the right leg. Inhale through the center, hands to the earth. Back knee lifts. Front foot stays on the ground, you just bend the back knee. Okay? So now all around the right leg, we've done the outer line, the front, the inner, and the back. This way we can feel grounded because there's so much change happening. Like in an unimaginable way, but know that your angels are with you, your guides are the highest light. Talk to them. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then you're going to lunge forward, shift the weight forward, back leg comes towards parallel. Square the hips off, because when you open up, you're staying in the center line. We want square hips here to get more into the outside line of your leg. Bring your left hand into your calf and then bow a little deeper. You might just be getting the hamstring big time. We'll get the outer hip in a second. More so. More fully. And then exhale, bend the knees, step it back. Left leg goes up, bend both knees, open the hip. So enjoyable to get this stretch. And then you're going to pivot, okay? The right heel comes down. The left knee can come all the way to the earth, or you can shift it back. Not the most graceful of transitions, but it's okay. Feeling that connection, waking up the side body. Of course, you could be here, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Breathing in and out. And then exhale. Hands to the earth. Move it back. Downward dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, come forward into a plank pose. Knees high or low. Bend the elbows all the way to the earth. Feet are going to point back. Hands go wide. Elbows lift. Shoulders to the back. Inhale, rising up. And then exhale, bow down. Now, hands go back. Clasp them behind you. Inhale, lift the legs, lift the feet. Lift the core, lift the heart, lift the roof of the mouth. Exhale, bow down. Hands come under the shoulders. Inhale, cobra. Soften the heart, stay lifted through the core. Exhale, bow down. Bend both knees. Hold on to the feet, shoulders to the back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bow down. Feet point back. So cobra or upward dog, it's up to you. Shoulders come to the back. Inhale, rise up. And exhale all the way back. Downward dog. Feeling connected to your breath. Connected to that flow. I hope we did 5 different heart openers. That's what I was going for. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Bend the knee, 5 circles. 5 big circles here. Arms don't move, hips don't move. Really all you're moving is that right thigh. And that right thigh is being moved by your core. As you exhale, step the foot through to a lunge. Pivot the back heel to the floor. Sit back into Skandanyasana. We're going to keep the hands on the ground. And then rise up. Lunge in. Turn the back foot in. Elbow to your thigh. Inhale into side angle pose. Strong through the core. Feel all the way into that side body. Feel the connection. Extending the arm. And then as we exhale, you're going to heel toe the back foot in. Might almost fall over like me. Shift the weight forward. Inhale, half moon pose. Okay, grab a block if you need. Feel the strength. Use the wall if there's one by you. There's nothing wrong with it. Feel how much support is available to you. We've got to change the belief that we're tough enough, that we're brave enough, and learn to lead with vulnerability. And then you're going to bend both knees, but that's coming. That theme is coming later in the month. Hold on to the foot, shoulders to the back. Open the heart. Enjoying the breath in. What do you want to be a container of and for? How can you bring your truth forward? Or at least be in a healthier dialogue with it? Exhale, free the foot. All the way back. You're going to step the foot back. Inhale all the way out. Warrior 2. Lift up. Reach back. And then inhale, come through the center. Hands to hands go wide, elbows lift. Inhale into this little gecko. Exhale to the ground. Hands clasp, shoulders drawn to the back. Inhale, lifting up and into Shalabhasana. Exhale, bowing down. Hands under the shoulders, shoulders drawn to the back. Cobra. Exhale, all the way back down. Knees bend, hold on to the feet. Dhanurasana, heart opens. Exhale, bowing down. Cobra or upward dog. Use the wisdom from what's gone before. And exhale back. Downward dog. Isn't that fun? I love water and air energy. Inhale, left leg lifts. 3 circles. Knee to the heart, out to the side. Right, keep that space connected and clear. The space between your diaphragm and your pelvic floor, or your hip points, your trochanters, and your 12th ribs, your floating ribs. Don't lose that connection. And then we're going to step the foot through to a lunge. Pivot the back heel, so feel the foundation. Draw in. There's a lot of energy that wants momentum. We really want to pretend that there's nothing wrong with the world. Everything's dreamy, right? But we're going to be ahead these next few weeks, cosmically. The messages are just to remember what it's all about as you're challenged, okay? Big breath in. Oh, I did. Thank you, whoever just reminded me I forgot something. Bring your hands through, pivot. Skandasana. Feeling the stretch to the inner thigh. Inhale, come through the center. We're just going to go from here. Shift the weight forward. You may need to realign yourself into half moon pose. I'm using the wall. I don't usually do standing on one foot when we're in this kind of full moon energy because the gravitational pull is exaggerated. But I'm here. If you like, bend both knees. Reach the hands for your front. Holy moly. Enjoy the breath. I'm totally using the wall. I'm seeing the bugs in our house. That's kind of weird. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to free the foot all the way back. Heel to the ground. Come into warrior 2, then lift up. Reach back. Reverse warrior. So many directions we're being pulled today. Highly intentional. Exhale, hands to the earth. Move it back, downward dog. Breathing into it all. Come forward plank, knees high or low, all the way to the ground. Here we go, last time with this. Elbows lift, shoulders draw in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow down. Hands clasp behind you, Shalabhasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. Hands under the shoulders, cobra. Inhale, opening. Exhale, bowing. Knees bend, hands to your feet. Dhanurasana. Exhale all the way down. Cobra or upward dog. Full breath in. And then exhale back. Downward dog. Enjoying the breath of you. The connection to you. You can move, bend the knees and go from side to side. If that's supporting and of service, walk your feet forward. Standing at the top edge of your mat. Sitting with a new awareness, a new connection to where you are, who you are. I mean, that's the gift of yoga. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bow. You can go through a long, extended spine, or roll the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae. Arms sweep overhead. Inhaling in. Exhale, return to your center. Feel even in the movement. We can ground ourselves, ground from the heart. We're going to go through a little balancing flow. So if you need to be by a wall or have blocks, or just remember you have the final say-so in how you want to participate. It's like the hardest thing, it's the biggest paradox of life, is that you have the final say-so. But you're saying so based on what's being presented to you. Okay, nobody can stop the way the sun and the moon and the earth are all lining up. Nobody can change the elliptical orbit and the midpoint between that elliptical, the sun and the moon, which creates the nodes, which dictates the eclipses. Nobody can change that. Just like nobody can change the fact that it's summertime. But we can prepare ourselves by knowing our truth and articulating it and being honest with ourselves. Be honest with yourself. This is why, this is a little heads up, when we get to the second eclipse, it's really about leading with vulnerability. So here we go. You're going to take the weight into the right foot. I need to move backwards on my mat. Take the weight into the right foot. You're going to draw in. Feel this lift, right? This rising energy. Reach back with your left hand. Bend the knee. Pull into the center. Right arm's going to lift up. Hugging in, drawing in, opening the heart. Now we're going to go from this high elevated stance, bending both knees, pulling into the belly, hinging at the hips, leaning all the way forward. Okay? Then you're going to extend out, going into that deeper dive, that deeper dance with life. And then we're going to bend the knee. Hand comes to the earth and finding the foot here. Full breath in, full breath out. As you exhale, you're going to free the foot. Left hand comes down, square the hips off. Find the left foot with the right hand, shoulders to the back. You're a little twisted, I know. Breathing all the way into it. Free the foot. Left foot goes back. You're going to pivot to the pinky toe side of the left foot. Draw into the belly. You can come here into side plank. Or you can, just come to side plank. Just come to side plank. Got ahead of myself. Deep breath in. And then exhale both hands to the earth. Move back. Downward dog. Bring the right knee to the ground. Widen the right foot. Lift up, stretch up. Feel the side body long. And then lift the left knee, bend the knee. Hold on to the foot here and just reclaim. I know this is accessible to a majority of you. So reclaim your truth right here. And then as you exhale, free the foot. Hand to the ground. Move it all the way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, finding more freedom. Inhale, plank, knees high or low, all the way to the ground. Hands go back, feet go back. Inhale into Shalabhasana. Now widen that center line. Feel more expansive. And then as you exhale, draw back in, insulate yourself. Find that center. Inhale 5 times, go wide. I call these yoga angels. Hug back to the center. Breathe. So it's not exactly a complete rest like child's pose, but we can restore by reconnecting, reclaiming, and remembering. Listening for the truth and how is it being articulated to us. Hug into the center, hands under the shoulders, cobra or upward dog. Opening the heart, feeling the breath. Rising up, tuck the toes, downward dog. And then walk forward. Find both feet beneath you. You're gonna feel really catawampus. You're gonna feel really discombobulated. So understand that and realize that when we feel our truth, our inner world discombobulated, what we're learning on the mat is how to choose from an honoring of our truth. And it means that we do have to be vulnerable. So it's easier to be vulnerable when you know your truth. Relax, bend the knees. Either go through an extended spine or roll the spine up. Inhale the arms overhead. And then exhale, hands return to your own heart. And as you return to your breath, your source, the visions that you hold, the dialogue you're holding within yourself. Okay, take the weight to the left foot. I'm gonna keep moving forward. I need to move back. Interesting. Noted. Bend the knee, hug it, because I'm really leaping into the forward with this future with this class. You need to be more present and look at where we've come from. So you're gonna pull into the center. Notice I'm holding the outside of my foot because of the transition. Shoulders draw in. We wanna feel that elevation first. So pull those upper inner thighs in. Expand through the back body. Use the wisdom from the yoga angels we just did. Drawing in, arm goes overhead. Feeling that lift and that length. And then I bend the knee so I'm not locked in my joints. Draw in and then hinge forward. Right? So it's dancer pose, but a little different. I'm using the wall. Use your breath. Hey, if I'm asking you and giving you a future glimpse at the June 10th eclipse, the theme that I'll be bringing forward is leading with vulnerability. I might as well be vulnerable. Here we are. Hands gonna come all the way to the earth. And my left leg is still vulnerable. So it's authentic. Enjoy the breath. I'm totally unable to find a healthy alignment here. But you're gonna bring the right hand down. Left hand finds the foot. And now in the twisted energy, I have found a greater alignment. Maybe you haven't. Enjoy the breath, opening up, expanding. And then as we exhale, step the foot back. You're gonna come over pinky toe side of the foot, draw into the belly. Maybe the left foot stays up the mat halfway. Maybe it stacks. Opening into side plank. You can do the arm overhead, but I realized I did the arms vertical. Stay with the breath. And then exhale. Make sure you're breathing, right? How can you lean into the support system that's there if you're not conscious of your own breath? Downward dog. Enjoy the breath in. And the breath out. Inhale, plank. Knees high or low. All the way to the ground. Hands go back, feet go back. So feel the connection from the domes of the feet, the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, the roof of the mouth. How are you allowing for that alignment? How are you allowing? This is where the intellect is supportive, but we don't want the intellect to bypass what we're really feeling. And then inhale, go wide. Know that the feelings are helping you expand and evolve, and exhale, hug into that truth. A new ability to articulate it. Inhale wide. Exhale, reclaim it. Inhale, what can you let go of? What's impeding you from just being soulfully you? Inhale, go wide. Exhale, again. Number 5, inhale wide. Exhale, hug in, hands down, feet down, cobra or upward dog. Be honoring of you. And exhale back, downward dog. I know, I just remembered. Left knee is gonna come to the earth. Widen the foot. Stretch, leg comes up. Bend the knee, hold on to the foot. Maybe I meant to do it on purpose. Enjoy the breath. You can still be diplomatic, especially if you have Libra energy. Diplomacy is your best friend in these next few weeks. Exhale, free the foot, hand to the ground. Move it back, downward dog. One breath here. Walk it forward. Both feet beneath you. Exhale, bow into Uttanasana. You're going to step your feet as wide as you need to, or keep them as close as you need to, all the way into Malasana, into that yogic squat. Feeling deeply bound into the truth of who you are. Opening yourself up into a belief of all that you deserve, all that you're worthy of. That our dreams are a wish our heart makes, yet our soul is going to ask us to stay the course and not get overly attached to all those desires. But desire is very, very real, and it's part of what moves us forward in our life. Come all the way seated. Soles of the feet are going to come together. Spine is lifted. It's long. Feel that connection. You can stay with soles of the feet together. My hip says not, don't even pretend, okay? You can also take your feet wide. Be in a place that works for you. We all sit on the ground differently. Your choices are limited. In this offering, you're at home, you're watching this in your own space. Do it how you want to do it, okay? So do it in the way that respects your highest. Drawn to the belly, so that means you're going to be different than me, because my truth is different than your truth. Draw up, hinge at the hips, and bow forward. Now we have some commonalities, and the more we can understand the way in which we shine, our unique light, our unique truth, then we can actually lead from that light, and then we'll find our people. But our people that we hang out with ideally still hold the bigger vision. So as you're bowing forward, breathe into it. If you can bow all the way down, great. If you can't, no judgment. 5 breaths here. And I want you to feel, as you're breathing, from the soles of the feet, wherever they are, up to the crown of the head, and all the way down those rivers of the body. Exhale out completely, draw into the belly, find length. Inhale, rise up. You're going to bring your legs together. Bring your hips forward. Move your feet over to the left. Find length, and then you're just gonna bow over the right knee. So here's the truth, right? Some of us like to stay with momentum. We just like the hard workouts, the intensity. Find length, inhale, rise up, and then we're gonna move over to the other side, right? Find the length and just fold over your left knee. Okay, so if you look down, your kneecap would be right in between. It would be right where your sternum is, your breastbone. Exhale all the way out. Find length. Inhale, rise up. Okay, both feet come forward. You can go to the wall if you prefer. You can use a block and do this with a block. It's really about where you are. I'm at the moment in time, this is being recorded live. My truth is the day's just getting started. There's an energy with all that we've been working with. We're in this like productivity of the cycle. So just realize that, okay? So as we are, you're going to, sorry, I'm having a lot of dots being connected. So when you go deep, you can actually connect more of the dots without having to always reflect back. So taking the wisdom that's come forward and realize that you've done enough research. We're going to go into plow pose to shoulder stand with a variation, just a little playfulness in shoulder stand so we don't get too serious. And we can feel lightness in the transition because it's better to, if we're going to be vulnerable, to trust in the vulnerability. And that trust is through the articulation. And part of my articulation is to make sure I'm saying yes to things being enjoyable and lighthearted. You can go to the wall and do legs up the wall. You can be on a block. So you're just going to roll back into plow pose. If you need a blanket for plow and shoulder stand, go for it. You do not have to do it. This is my truth. This is like heaven for me, to be honest with you. It's natural, it's easy, it's healthy for me. You're going to then bend your knees and go to shoulder stand. So if you're at the wall, you probably did legs at the wall first. Maybe you're staying there. Or perhaps you're just on a block. Okay, what we're going to do is bend the knees. Right, we're here. Feel that you're not tipped too far forward. The throat's open. The feet are going to go wide, out to the side. Gotta check my plant situation. And then come all the way up. Knees bend. Go wide. And all the way up. Okay, go for 5 if you can. Keep the gaze looking straight up. If you have glaucoma, if you have neck issues, do not do this. You know better. And only you know what's best for you. That's why you know better. Okay? You need to be using your core and your breath. Here we go. That was number 5. You're going to come back into plow pose. Breathing here. I'm not a fan of headstand. I am a fan of
shoulder stand and plow pose. Be with your breath, be where you need to be. And then we're gonna slowly, if you're at the wall, just come back to the wall and enjoy legs at the wall. If you're in the middle of the room, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping your head on the ground. If you are on a block, bring your feet to the earth, lift the block up, then come down vertebrae by vertebrae, and then come into happy baby pose. See, even I can do things that aren't my truth, but still find my way to participate. Move the head from side to side. Feel connected to the breath. From happy baby, you can stretch your right leg out. Keeping both hips on the ground. We tend to have the left hip up. So it's just a reclined Skandanyasana. And then bend the right knee. You're gonna extend the left leg out, straight into your peace lily. That's the highly evolved fixed water. Is that peace is our truth. We come from the calm waters of compassion. One more breath here. And then come back into happy baby. From happy baby, bring your feet together, hold on to your ankles, your knees go wide. 5 breaths here. So your feet are falling apart. Now, if you did legs up the wall, you can bend your knees and be in butterfly pose at the wall. You may have to move away slightly, but you can be in a variation. You're supported. If you're lying in the middle of the room, hold on to your ankles. And bring your knees together. Give yourself a gentle hug. Still think child's pose. No pulling the chin up to the chest. You're going to rock from side to side. And come back to the center. Feet come down. If I had a block, I would be putting a block in between my knees, but I don't. So instead of Baddha Konasana, feet go wide, knees come together, okay? I want you to feel this line up your feet, through your knees, down through your hips, up through your ribs, up through the sides of the throat, up to the crown of the head, and then all the way back down. Just tracing this line, right? And notice how the awareness can just flow as you trace the lines and the rivers of the body. You can either exhale to your feet, or you can exhale to your head. You want to be in a natural rhythm, one that honors you. And you're just going to trace your awareness through your body, and then you're going to align the breath with the awareness that's flowing. the next time your awareness comes to your heart, you're just going to feel the connection breathing from your navel to your heart, to your throat, and from your throat to your heart to your navel. You can even think about breathing to your pelvic floor, just where you're feeling that expansion within. Feeling the wisdom and the consciousness illuminating your sacred depth. You want to be able to know your truth, to believe in your potentiality. As we awaken to a more authentic articulation, and then just let the breath or your awareness is going to still stay curious. It's always good to stay curious, but let the breath be free. Find yourself all the way to the ground. There's still so much momentum, it's just we can't see it. We are in the vantage point of our own experience, our limited self, which is beautiful and brilliant. But we also want to know deeply that there's a bigger energy at work. So we come to what we know, and that is the breath. As we breathe in and breathe out. Just as you are, enjoy the breath in and the breath out. Just as you are, awaken to the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet. Feeling all that you're connected to, even though you aren't actually touching anyone. You know there's more available to you. You know your truth has just expanded. And you might still be blurry in the articulation of who you are. But maybe you're more clear in how you want to be. You're going to bend both knees. Stretch the arms. Roll over to one side. Sit with an awareness of your being, where you can breathe and become more of your truth, your sacred embodiment. Bring the hands at your own heart center. Smile inwardly that we're on a great journey. And while doing virtual yoga means we don't travel far from home, that maybe we feel more comfortable to be more vulnerable because we can find the language by listening without all the distractions, and to love our truth, to know it in a way that allows us to lean into the wisdom, to lean in to all that is unseen, and to bring that wisdom forward. And we hold that vision for the future, for the highest good, for the highest benefit of all those concerned. So we say hello to all that awaits us, more grounded, more centered, more embodying our true selves. Namaste. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. However this finds you and however you find yourself, you are not alone. There's so much energy available to you. And even when I do these practices and I actually feel very alone sometimes in my own space, I feel so much support by your love, by your ability to be vulnerable and do virtual yoga, for your support, and I really feel the company of all those that I've been able to share these teachings with, and I am excited to welcome in new people and new energy and new ways of articulating. So I'll continue to be vulnerable with you. And yes, I will be speaking on that more as time reveals itself. But in the meantime, keep your ground, keep your center. And if you lose your ground or you lose your center, your breath is there to remind you every moment that you just breathe back in to that which grounds you, to that which centers you, to that which you've learned to articulate and feel supported. And we may not know the big picture or the outcome of all things, but we can know in that moment we chose to honor the truth of who we are. So straight from my heart to yours, the truth is I keep digging and my hip is not happy. So however you're here and whomever is here, thank you. I appreciate you. And I will be here again. I will be sharing, I don't know when it will get posted, but it will get posted soon. The energy of this eclipse. And I'm going to do the horoscopes for your sun, moon, or rising sign for the eclipse, especially for these next 2 weeks until we move into the new moon in Gemini. So yeah, hang out with me and be you. And oh, I love that you're stronger today, Pat. I'm actually feeling way weaker, but that's okay. I know I'm going through huge transformation and change, personally and on every level, and that's okay. I'm okay with that vulnerability, and I'll be calling it forward with you guys too. I know, it's so scary, right? It's all good. It is all good. We are loved. We may not know how we're getting through everything. Maybe some of us do. Maybe some of us are snapped back right where we wanted to be, and some of us are still finding our way, and unfortunately, some of us are still completely falling off and transitioning. So all love
and always. Straight from my heart to your all's. Ciao.